Hello and welcome back to the Bielsa Stand, Series 2, Episode 2. Hope everyone is well and let's get straight into it. Since I last spoke to all of you, Leeds United have played 2 league games, first being Cardiff at home and Birmingham away. Then in between there, we had a cup game against Shrewsbury. So with the Cardiff game, Cardiff went 2-0 up with basically 2 shots, so half-time was 2-0 to Cardiff. Luke Ayling had a very poor game. He's had a very poor start to the season. Let's be honest. There has been talks. I know this is a bit of transfer news. Drama may go to Southampton next summer or January. According to Fabrizio Romano, there is a liking to Drama from Southampton. But as I say, Ayling had a bad game against Cardiff specifically. Even though Leeds had the majority of the ball and probably played better in that first half, somehow we were 2-0 down. Second half kicks off. Leeds again played much better than Cardiff. Eventually we got the 2 goals to make it 2-2. Cooper got a header in the first minute of the second half. In the 46th minute he heads it in. However, he then got injured and we haven't seen him feature since then. Then in the 96th minute, Somerville saved us in the last moments, the last kick of the game to make it 2-2. Overall, Leeds United should be winning that. Cardiff have been a poor team last season. They're probably not going to get top 6 this season or push up for promotion. So Leeds United should be beating these kind of teams. It shows us that the Championship is going to be a long, tough season. It's not going to be as easy as people expected. And we need to strap in because Leeds United will find it tough this season for sure. Now let's move on to the cup game. Leeds United were against Shrewsbury at home at Ellen Road midweek. Darlow made his appearance. Meslier was dropped for this game, obviously giving Darlow some game time. Leeds United go 1-0, a fluky goal, it kind of deflected. And yeah, I mean, it was the only shot on target for them really throughout that first half. However, Leeds United did manage to pull it back. The goal scorers for Leeds were Gelhardt in the 52nd minute. He didn't really know much about it. It kind of just deflected in. And then Pascal from the corner, he kind of had a shot. It went in on the 58th minute. So Leeds United are through. We're actually against Salford in the next round of the Cup. I think away up Beyond TV live. So yeah, Leeds United actually won a game, believe it or not, in the Cup. Then moving on to the third game that's been played was Birmingham versus Leeds. And this was at Birmingham, so it was an away match. Tom Brady was there, seeing his new Birmingham team play against the mighty Leeds United. And overall, it was a shocking game. Leeds only had 1 shot on target. Birmingham had 2. Leeds had more possession, though, with 60% possession. With Birmingham having 40. Overall, they had more shots. They actually had 10 shots. We had 7 shots on target. Now let's go over the lineup. John Ruddy was obviously in net for them. Dembele, they've got Hogan. They've got an okay squad. They've obviously spent a bit of money or bought in some players this transfer window. Obviously, they bought Tyler Roberts from us. So, yeah, that was the Birmingham kind of team. Obviously, I've missed. But Dembele was probably the best player on the pitch during the match. Then Leeds United had a very weak squad. Obviously, Meslier was in net. Sam Byron played at left back. He actually has signed for us now for a season, I believe. Ayling was playing, Cresswell was playing, Pascal was playing, Archie Gray, Ethan was there, Shackleton on the right wing, Daniel James on the left, pervading that number 10 role, and Gelhardt as a striker. And really, if you think about this squad, it's not a top 6 squad, it's a mid to low Championship squad. Shackleton obviously didn't do much at Millwall last season. Gelhardt hardly provided anything for Sunderland last season during the second part of the season. Dan James, okay, he did okay for Fulham, but really he didn't do much. Pervader got relegated from Blackpool. Archie Gray's only a kid. Cresswell, okay, he had a good season at Millwall. I guess Pascal's been shocking over the last 18 months or so. Luke Ayling isn't good enough. Sam Byram is going back in time. And Ilan Meslier, we all know about his form in the last couple of seasons. So overall, a poor squad, and the bench gets even worse. We had 2 goalkeepers on the bench. We couldn't actually fill out the whole bench. Darker was on the bench. Clarkson was there. Rutter, Joe Roden, Helder, Drama, Darlow, Bate. And Joe Roden came on as a striker, I think, in the last few minutes. and he couldn't provide a goal for us, unfortunately. But yeah, it was 0-0 until the 90th minute. Then Dan James fouled a Birmingham player in the box, and Birmingham managed to get a penalty and they scored. So Leeds United lose that match 1-0. So overall, 2 games have happened this season in the league. Leeds United have 1 point, obviously, with a loss and a draw. So let's have a look at the league table as it stands. Ipswich is number 1 in the league. They're first. Leicester are second. Watford third. Plymouth fourth. Norwich fifth. Southampton 6th. So 2 of the relegated teams are in the top 6. And then there's us, Leeds United, near the bottom. Blackburn are 7th. Birmingham 9th. Bristol 10th. Stoke 13th. West Brom, obviously, who we got a match against, are 14th. They're on 3 points after winning and losing. They obviously won last week against Swansea and then lost against Blackburn on the opening day. Leeds United are currently 19th with 1 point. Middlesbrough, Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday make the relegation zone in the Championship. So 3 Yorkshire teams. Sunderland are 21 after 2 losses. Rotherham are just behind us in 20th place. Above us are the 2 Welsh teams, Swansea and Cardiff. Then we go to London with QPR and Millwall sat in 15th place. So that's the league table as it stands. And we've heard some transfer news today that Mr. Tyler Adams, Captain America, will be leaving Leeds for around about £23 million, I believe. He'll be joining Areola down south, playing in the Premier League. Obviously, on Monday, there were talks that he was going to join Areola. Somehow, I don't know what happened there. Maybe they didn't get the release clause. However, now they've agreed a fee with Leeds United to be around 23 million. So it looks like Tyler Adams will be leaving Leeds. So that's another player, another midfielder who won't be with us this season. Since I last did a podcast, obviously Sinistera and Nonto have refused to play or not want to play for Leeds United for whatever reasons. If that's agents, if that's a niggle, or not wanting to get injured for a transfer. Obviously, Nonto didn't play in the Shrewsbury game, and then Birmingham, he said he didn't want to play. Instead, he was spotted in Harrogate having a nice evening. So good for him. I hope he had an enjoyable day in Harrogate, whilst Leeds United fans were depressed with them losing against Birmingham. And Sinister, there's been a lot of talks. Potentially he could be going back to Feyenoord or Marseille. So keep that on track. It'll be interesting to see where Sinister will be at the end of the transfer window. I doubt it'll be at Leeds. Nonto looks like he'll be leaving. Apparently he wants to play for Everton. To some reports, other reports saying he just wants to leave Leeds. So, Nonto, I don't really want to see him again in the Leeds shirt, to be honest. Leeds United have said he's not for sale. Obviously, during the press conference this week, Daniel Farke was asked about these 2 players. He said they're training on their own. They're not in the dressing room with the rest of the lads. Same with Helder Costa, but everyone's fine with Helder Costa leaving. I mean, Leeds United want him gone. He wants to leave. We haven't really seen him feature at all during pre-season and obviously the season. So Helder Costa will be potentially making a move. And fair enough. You know what? He was part of the promotion team that got us promoted. He obviously played in the Premier League with us when we finished 9th. So I don't really have a bad word for him. Obviously, he wasn't in favour anymore. Rafinha stole the show, and then he's been on loan to Valencia and Saudi Arabia. So maybe he'll be making a Saudi move. And talking about Saudi Arabia, Alioski, had anyone seen the picture of Alioski in Saudi Arabia? Yeah, he's playing with the likes of Mahrez. He's on Mahrez's team. So yeah, look, he's enjoying life. Alioski, fair enough to him. We miss you, Alioski. We miss your character, even though as a left back he wasn't the best. But people say he's better than Junior Firpo. Now that moves on to Junior Firpo. Will Junior Firpo be staying at Leeds United? He's injured at the moment. It looks like he'll probably be staying, but that won't be exactly the news Leeds United fans want to hear, because a lot of them want him to leave through the door. A lot's been said about all these loan clauses. It's been a bit of a mess at Leeds United over the last couple of weeks. A lot of players leaving because of loan clauses this summer. People blaming Victor Orta, Radusani with loan clauses. Obviously, we saw Jackie Harrison go to Everton earlier in the week. Basically, had a loan clause saying he can go out on loan. So Everton chose to pick him up. So he's playing in the Premier League this season. Yeah, even though he's a Liverpool fan, but fair enough to Jackie. And yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. However, Farkas says hopefully now we'll have some positive news. He sounded positive that we can get players in, even though he says we need players in all over the pitch apart from keepers. I mean, he believes the keeper position is very strong at the moment. Obviously, Owens was linked to us and apparently was having a medical, but then he decided to join Areola. So everyone's jumping ship and joining Areola. He must be selling a dream down there, down south. I wonder what this dream is. Leeds United aren't having a dream at the moment. We're having a nightmare. But we have had a couple of players come in. As I say, Rodon comes on loan from Tottenham Hotspurs. He played in League 1 last season in the French League, making only 16 appearances, I believe. So Joe Rodon comes in. We obviously signed Sam Byram. He was a free agent, so he's now part of the squad. And at the moment, he looks like our starting left back, even though he's right-footed and he's basically a right back. But yeah, this season we've also seen Ethan come in and Darlow. So 4 players have come in. About 2,500 players have left or wanting to leave on loan or just sold. But you know what? Good news. Hopefully, if this Tyler Adams deal happens, we'll get some money in, which means that hopefully we can invest in the squad. Obviously, Ben Hamer won't be happening. It looks like he'll be joining Sheffield United. And like they saw midfielder actually leave Sheffield United in Berger. So that deal won't happen. No move on Perot. Apparently, last weekend after the Birmingham game, some fans saw Angus Kinnear in the service station asking about transfers and that, and he said that we're working on a striker, even though there's no sign of a striker coming in. Patrick Bamford's obviously injured. Rutter's been injured, but even when he's fit, he doesn't do much, let's be honest. He's more of a winger. People say he hasn't scored a goal for the senior team for Leeds United. He hasn't really contributed. Last weekend when he came on against Birmingham, Neil Redford was criticising him, saying he's not really putting in the effort and that really we should expect more from him. So Rutter's having a tough time as well. So really, this is why we're in a mess, because we're a mid to bottom championship squad. 2 easy games to start off in the league. We've obviously not won either of them. And all the players want to leave and we're just not signing anyone. So that's why we're in a bit of a mess. Obviously, Radusani and Victor Orta's left us in this position, you could say, or partly in this position. The 49ers aren't doing much at the moment. They're not coming out and communicating with fans, which can be seen as frustrating for fans. Angus Kinnear still in the squad. Imagine him playing for Leeds United. He'll make even a bigger mess than he's already doing. I mean, he's still the CEO of Leeds United, 500k a year. He's apparently in here for the transition period, but he's doing nothing. He's rubbish. He obviously probably knew about the contract clauses, and so did the 49ers. Surely they knew. Surely the blame can't all be on Victor Orta and Radusani, because they were part of the board. They were minority shareholders, Prague and all that kind of stuff. So surely they had an idea. Obviously they were there when Jack Harrison signed his contract. Apparently they were very involved with that. So yeah, at the moment it's a bit of a mess, but as Farkas says, hopefully it'll get better in the last couple of weeks of the transfer window. Hopefully after this West Brom game it'll be easier regarding getting results. He says that this West Brom game is going to be tough, obviously, with the squad position as we are in now. So, yeah, I mean, talking about West Brom, we're obviously against West Brom under the lights at Ellen Road. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a boring game. I can't see Leeds winning this. I said in my preview on my YouTube channel, Leeds will probably lose. I said it'll either be a draw or loss. I'm going for a 1-0 win for West Brom. Obviously, Carlos Corbejan is the manager there, previously managing the likes of Huddersfield, Olympiacos, Leeds United under 23s when Bielsa was in charge. In his first season, he obviously did well at the likes of Huddersfield, getting to the playoffs final, was it? He then moved to Olympiacos. It obviously didn't work well because of the owner being a crazy madman. He then obviously moved to West Brom, and he's got a tough job at West Brom. Obviously, we know a few players who play there. The likes of Moa obviously came through the Leeds Academy, played at Barnsley, where they were also in the playoffs a couple of seasons ago. They've got the likes of Cal Bartley as well, who obviously played in our defence a few seasons ago. So, overall, the squads are probably equal. I mean, I don't see West Brom being in the top 6 at the end of the season. I don't think they have the squad, even though Carlos Corbejan is apparently going to be the next Marcelo Bielsa, according to some Leeds fans. But, I'm going to go for a 1-0 win. I said a Cal Bartley head in the 90th minute to make Leeds even more depressed. And, that's what I'm going to go for. Anyway, this is really it for this week's episode, or this episode. Hope you've enjoyed. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube. Remember to check us out on Spotify at the Bielsa Stand. Remember to check out our social media on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at the Bielsa Stand. Remember to like, share, comment on YouTube. Remember to share this podcast to your favourite footballer, and I'll catch you later.